Welcome to this explainer. We're jumping right into what is absolutely a pivotal moment in tech, the maturation of the AI industry as of August 2026. We're tracking this incredibly rapid shift, starting from a pure software-driven financial boom, shifting into an era of massive, heavy physical infrastructure, and finally running headfirst into some incredibly severe security threats. Let's dive right in. $10.9 billion. Let that number sink in for just a second. That is Anthropic's Q2 revenue. They literally more than doubled their revenue from the prior quarter, which led to their first ever projected operating profit of $559 million. I mean, the cash is just flowing right now.
So let's start with Phase 1, the AI financial boom.
With OpenAI gearing up for this highly anticipated, imminent S1 IPO filing, this financial explosion we're seeing, it goes way beyond just the big foundational models. Specialized enterprise startups are seeing absolutely unprecedented valuations. Whether we're looking at coding agents like Cognition hitting a $40 billion valuation, Thrive Holdings applying AI to services at $12 billion, or legal AI platforms like Legora scaling massive revenues to reach $10 billion, the entire ecosystem is just flush with capital.
And, all this cash is inevitably driving rapid market consolidation. Case in point, Anthropic is in early talks to acquire the Israeli startup Descartes AI for roughly $6 billion. But the real prize here isn't just the company, it's Descartes' critical GPU inference efficiency tech. This is absolutely essential for Anthropic to rein in their escalating compute costs right before a potential IPO. It's like buying the ultimate engine upgrade before the biggest race of your life.
Which brings us to our next stage, Phase 2, scaling the compute infrastructure.
Because here's the reality. You cannot have a software boom without the massive physical build-out to support it. As frontier models like Grok 4.6 drive this intense, unyielding software demand, the hardware response rising to meet it is just staggering. Lenovo is posting record quarters with nearly $27 billion in revenue. Entire sovereign nations like India are deploying massive 10,000 GPU clusters, and storage companies like Kioxia are pushing bandwidth up 33% just to clear out these AI bottlenecks.
To really understand the sheer scale of this physical build-out, consider this. Vantage Data Centers, which already raised $11 billion, mind you, is currently weighing a $100 billion IPO. $100 billion. They need this absolutely massive influx of capital simply to meet the relentless, skyrocketing demand for hyperscale data centers.
But running all this hardware creates a real-world electricity and cooling crisis. So what's the solution? Well, apparently it's taking to the seas. Startups like Panthalassa are literally developing offshore, floating AI data centers. They're powered by ocean waves and cooled by the surrounding seawater. The power grid crunch is forcing some wild, highly innovative solutions just to keep these server farms from melting down. And that sheer physical scale brings us to Phase 3, cybersecurity and regulatory risks. As this AI infrastructure scales up to these $100 billion valuations, it becomes a prime, board-level target for threat actors. Take the light LLM supply chain attack, for example. Hackers only needed a 40-minute window. 40 minutes! You could barely watch an episode of TV in that time. But in that tiny window, they stole 153 gigabytes of credentials. And months later, those stolen keys compromised nearly 2,500 corporate domains, exposing tech giants like AWS, Cisco, and Samsung. The threat landscape right now is practically on fire. Just in August alone, North Korea's Lazarus Group targeted European defense companies using fake LinkedIn jobs. Meanwhile, critical near-maximum severity flaws were being actively exploited across SharePoint, Cisco, and VMware. Even Uber Freight was investigating a massive breach of 1 million stolen files. It is just wave after wave of exploits.
So, because of all this chaos, regulators and industry leaders are finally stepping in. The FTC has issued a strict policy statement holding companies legally liable if they make false AI accuracy claims. And over at DeepMind, Demis Hassabis is officially pitching an international, independent AI safety body, comparing it directly to the IAEA for global nuclear oversight. Comparing AI oversight to nuclear safety tells you exactly how high the stakes really are.
We are standing at a pretty profound crossroads here. As AI enters this massive IPO era of $100 billion valuations and immense physical scale, We really have to ask ourselves, can international oversight and security actually outpace these devastating supply chain threats? It is, without a doubt, the defining tension of the AI industry today. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.